Hey everyone, I hope you all are safe and doing good. So in the series of learning Python programming language, in the previous video we have seen types of arguments in Python, right? Positional, keyword, default, required, arbitrary or variable length arguments, right? Now, two specific types of things are also there in Python, or you can say specific kind of argument like args and kwargs, these arguments. Here is one star, here we have two stars. So what are these arguments and why we use and when we use these type of arguments, right? So we'll see this thing in this video with the help of program. I'll show you both for args and kwargs. We'll see programs, right? Practically we'll see. Okay, now first is args. So this is star args. This is short form for arbitrary positional arguments. See, in the last video, if you have watched that video, I have told you in arbitrary arguments, like what is the example we have taken, addition, add function, right? Maybe in advance I don't know how many number of arguments I want to pass at the runtime, right? Or every time I call the function, the number of arguments changes. Like if I call this add function, so I want to add only two numbers. Second time I want to add like 5, 7, 10, 9, 4 numbers. Third time if I want to call, then I want to add like 5, 7, 10, 9, 5, then 11, minus 1, these numbers. So one solution is what? Maybe you can define 3 add functions. One will accept only 2 arguments, one will accept 4 arguments, one will accept these type of arguments. But why we are defining 3 add functions? Because function is same, add. Only number of arguments are changing. For this thing, in Python we have a solution. We can pass arbitrary arguments also, right? And for that we use, these are what? Positional arguments. These are not keyword argument, right? I have told you the difference, positional versus keyword argument in previous video. So we are passing arbitrary positional argument, right? So we can define a function simply like diff add, and here one star and args. So this is what? Short form of arbitrary positional argument, or rather than args, because this is simple convention, right? You can use any name like numbers, like star numbers, that is also fine. Star data, star info, this kind of thing, right? Or this is convention only. This is for arbitrary positional, kwargs is for arbitrary keyword arguments, right? So first time it will accept only 2 arguments, then 4 arguments, then this much type of arguments, right? Only one you have to specify. So this is arbitrary positional argument, args. I'll show you this thing with the help of example and how this thing actually works. Basic difference I'm just going to tell you now. Now this is what? One star will accept only arbitrary non-keyworded arguments or arbitrary positional argument. But I want to pass keyword argument like information of a person, like info person, we have a function, and I want to pass like name, like this, name is equal to something like Ram, then age equal to 31, then some phone number equal to 99, something like this. So these are keyworded arguments, but this will not accept keyworded argument, right? Arbitrary keyworded argument, because maybe some person want to, like I don't want to reveal my maybe phone number, so I will just pass name Jenny and age, that's it. Maybe some other person don't want to reveal age and phone number, and she want to pass only name and maybe department. So every time we are passing different number of arguments. So to accept this thing we need arbitrary keyworded argument, as the name suggests. KW, keyword, arbitrary keyworded arguments. So for this we will define a function something like this, like def and info person and a double star and kwargs, like this, and here we can write down whatever you want to do with this information, right? Or rather than kwargs, this is simple convention in Python, right? We can use args and kwargs, so rather than this we can change the name. Rather than this I can write down info, or I can write down data, anything, or simple a variable name like a, but better to take a meaningful name, right? So this thing also I'll show you with the help of example, like program. I hope the main difference, the basic difference is clear to you. What is this args and what is kwargs? So okay, let's see with the help of program. Okay, so let's create a new file here and just to give the name arbitrary positional underscore arbitrary keyword arguments dot py, right? First arbitrary positional argument. So same we will take the add function example of this, like I want to pass 2 number at this time. Again I want to add like 6, 4, 2, 3 numbers. It should be comma, right? 6 like 5 or 6 again. Maybe next time I want to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 56 and 8, 4, 5, 6 numbers, right? So every time I am calling the function, the number of arguments are changing. For this thing, we use arbitrary arguments. So arbitrary positional arguments, because these are positional arguments. So just define the function add and 1 star and arbitrary positional argument, right? Or rather than args, if you don't want to use this convention, args, you can simply write down any like data, numbers or anything like numbers I am adding, I am writing, right? And what you want to do like addition of these numbers. So now the point is, okay, now see what happens. Suppose this I am passing 4, 5, 6 arguments are there here, right? So these 6 arguments should be passed here. Now this operator, this star, will take all the arbitrary positional arguments and pack them into a tuple. This thing is, you need to note down. This would be packed into a tuple, not a list, right? So now it will become tuple here. This one. So this is as a tuple would be passed, right? So if you want to access each element of the tuple, what? Yeah, we can using index, we can access. But if you want to add, we have for loop for like any number or for I in, what is the name of this tuple? Numbers, and we will just add. So suppose I am taking a variable c. Okay, first let's just initialize c is equal to 0. In c I am putting the sum. So c is equal to c plus I or c plus equal to I. Short form also you can write something like this. C plus equal to I. This is also fine, right? And outside of this for loop, after that you can simply print sum, like something like this using f string. The sum is, in c variable we have sum, right? So let's call this and see what output you will get here. See, first you will get sum is 3, second time 17, and next time it's 74, right? For these, fine. So these are, now why it is passed as a tuple? Why this star, this operator will pack these arguments as a tuple, not a list? Because tuples are immutable. You cannot change the value of the tuple after assigning the value. Means if you have passed these arguments, then here after passing we cannot change the value. Suppose I want to print, like print numbers, the name of tuple is numbers, and at 0th index, that also I want to print. So let's run this and see 1. Then for the next we have at 0th index we have 6. Then again for third function call we have 1. So you can access this thing, but you cannot change. Like if you want to change after printing this, how to change? Simple. Whatever 0th index I want to, rather than 1 it should be 4, right? So suppose I just want to call this thing with the only one add function, right? And rather than 1 at 0th index I want to change it to 4. So let's run this, you will get an error. See, the tuple object does not support item assignment. So that is why it is passed as a tuple, because tuples are immutable, we cannot change the value. Because obviously whatever we are passing here, we want the sum for those numbers only. It's not like that someone will change here in the definition and that sum we will get. So that would be incorrect. right? That is why it is passed as a tuple, right? So I hope you're getting with what are the args, arbitrary positional argument. Now I want to pass keyword argument, so this will not accept keyword arguments, right? Suppose here I will pass something like this. Okay, normal argument let's pass. So I am passing Jenny, right? And here I am taking a one more variable name. So what I am expecting, 1 and 2, these would be in numbers and name would be Jenny, right? So let's just print here, rather than number this, let's just print name. So it should print name Jenny. I think it will work fine, but let's run this. See, this add missing one required keyword only argument name in line number 9. So this, it will accept what? See the functioning 1, 2, Jenny. All the 3 would be considered as a tuple and would be there in numbers. Now that is why it is showing one missing argument, because for name we are not passing anything according to this. Let's just print, rather than name, let's just print here. I'll show you numbers, the tuple, entire tuple. Okay, let's run this. Okay, we have like here an error, so let's remove this name, and then also we'll get an error because we are doing sum and we cannot add number integer with a string. See, you will get an error. Okay, item assignment, let's just remove this line as well. Okay, now what error you will get? See, unsupported operator, operand type plus equal to for intent string. 1, 2 are integer, Jenny is string. So okay, let's just comment out these 2 lines also. And I just want to show you what this numbers is getting. See, in numbers, in this tuple we have 1, 2 and Jenny. All the 3 argument, 1, 2, Jenny, right? But I want this Jenny should be as a separate, Jenny should be there in name. So for that you can just pass what? Keyworded argument, name is equal to Jenny. Now let's run this. What error you will get? Nothing, you are getting error 1, 2. Numbers are only, now this time 1, 2. Now Jenny is for name. Okay, let's just print here name as well. So let's run this. See, 1, 2 and Jenny, like this. Fine. Okay, let's just remove these also. And now, okay, we are running. So if you run this, you will get 1, 2 in numbers. In name we have Jenny and sum is 3, right? Something like this. So while passing the mix of normal arguments and like arbitrary positional argument, you need to take care of this thing. If this is keyword argument, then it's fine, you can pass after this. But if it's a normal argument, suppose I am passing A, and here I want like in 1, 2 should be in numbers and A should be 5. Will you get an error? Yes, you will get an error. Missing one required keyword only argument A. Because 1 to 5 would be in numbers only. So better to pass a normal argument first, like in A first, then arbitrary positional argument. So in A, now by default, 1 would be assigned, and after that this 2, 5 would be assigned to numbers. Let's run this. Okay, name is not defined. Let's just remove this because we don't have any name here. Now let's run this. See, 2, 5. In numbers now we have only 2 and 5 because this 1 been assigned to this normal argument A and sum is 7 only. So first, better to write down first the normal argument, then arbitrary positional arguments, right? What is the convention? Normal argument, arbitrary positional argument, and then arbitrary keyword argument. Now let's just take one more example rather than this. What we will do? Okay, now we just take an example of arbitrary keyword arguments. Okay, let's we are passing information of a person like info person, and here I am passing like name is equal to something like this, like Ram, and then age is, suppose I am passing like maybe 30, and suppose department equal to CSC 3 for this info, for this person, right? And next time info person name is equal to, suppose I am passing it's Sham, and we are not passing this time age because Sham is not willing to reveal his age, only department is CSC, right? So this time 3 argument, this time 2 argument. So for this, and these are keyword arguments, so for this you have to define a function like def, suppose the name should be what, same, info person, right? And here it is not going to work. Like if I pass 1 star with 1 star only, you have to pass 2 star and keyword arguments. Rather than kwargs, we can use any other variable, data, info, anything, but double star is mandatory because then only it will accept all the arbitrary keyworded argument, right? And for this, how to access? Now I just want to print like Ram, name Ram, then age, then department, then name Sham, then department CSC. So how to access this thing? Now at this point of time, these arguments would be passed in the form of dictionary. Although I haven't discussed dictionary, but dictionary means it is having a key and value pair. Like you have a dictionary, if you are writing a phone number of any person, like the person name Jenny, then maybe colon or dash or anything or equal to, and then phone number of Jenny, then like phone number of any other Rahul, then phone number of Rahul. So dictionary is having key and value pair. Key is what? Jenny, and value is what? The phone number, right? So 2 things we want to access. Now here key is what? Name, and Ram is value. Key is what? Age, and 30 is what? Value. So both the key and value you want to access, key and value pair. So for how to access this thing? How to access the dictionary? Because it is passing in the form of dictionary, and in this case, previous case, in args case, it was passing in the form of tuple, all the arguments. So for, it's not like that we simply write one argument like in and kwargs. Maybe you are thinking like this, but the syntax is little bit different of dictionary. In detail we will discuss in the next video, because 2 key and value both you want to access. So rather than one item, you have to take 2 variable name, either I or J or A, B or XY, anything, or for better understanding we take like for key and value, 2 things, key and value, first key then value. In kwargs you have to use a function. We have a function here, items. So dot items, using this function we can access, right? And now we will simply print what? Key and value. Or if you write down here I and J, so simply write down here I and J. In print also simply write down I and J. Okay, now let's run this. See, first name Ram, age 30, department CSC, name Sham, department CSC. So this is how you can pass arbitrary keyword argument and you can access those arguments, right? So this is the difference between args and kwargs, fine. But if you want to pass like some arbitrary positional argument also, so here I can write down like star, suppose I am writing a star args, okay, that ARGS, fine. But see that error, star parameter after double star parameter. So this is not possible. Always this star parameter or arbitrary positional argument must be before arbitrary keyword argument, otherwise it will give error. Like here I want to pass positional argument like 3, 4, that's it. And here also I want to pass like 7, 8, 9, something like this. Okay, let's run this and I'll show you the error. See, this is invalid syntax, this is invalid syntax. And if I write something like this, rather than after this, first I am passing args and then double star, then kwargs. Okay, so here also you have to pass first args, not after this. So first we will pass like maybe 1 comma 2 comma, and here I am passing only 1 comma 2 comma 3. See, you are not getting any error, right? So if you want to access these args, then also you can print. Like if you want to print args, simply I will print args. So let's run this. First, in this we are printing first that key value pair. So RAM 30 and CSE, and then 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are arbitrary positional, then sham and department, and then 1 2 3, 1 2 3, because after that we are printing args. So what is the convention of passing these arguments? First any normal argument, then arbitrary positional argument like args, then arbitrary keyword argument kwargs, right? Otherwise you will get some kind of error or maybe different type of output, right? I hope now difference what is args and kwargs is clear to you guys. Okay, now one assignment for you is you have to write down a function that will take arbitrary number of arguments, variable number of arguments, and multiply those arguments together. So you have to run that thing for these two input, multiply and multiply the function name 2 3 minus 6 8, and second for this thing, right? Multiply. So this is for your assignment. You can just write down that logic only in the comment section. Okay, so I hope now you are clear with this args and kwargs arguments in Python. Now in the next video we will see one coding exercise. So now I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Take care.